Captain Daniel Hayes sat in the cold metal chair and waited. The briefing room at Earth's Military Command Center had no windows. Gray walls surrounded him. The light came from old fluorescent panels that buzzed above his head. He had killed more Kelovians than he could count. He had lost soldiers under his command. He had seen things that would never leave his mind. Daniel was 42 years old, but his face looked older. Deep lines marked his forehead and around his eyes. His hair was dark with streaks of gray. His hands were strong from years of fighting and training. They did not shake anymore. He had learned to control that after the third year of war. The door opened. General Patricia Moore walked in. She wore the green uniform of Earth's military command. Her face was serious. She sat across from Daniel and opened a folder on the table between them. "Captain Hayes," she said, "you have been selected for a special assignment." Daniel nodded. He had won the Medal of Honor twice. He had been offered command of entire bases. Each time he said no. He did not want to sit behind a desk. He did not want to give orders to other people. He wanted to be left alone. "The Galactic War is over," General Moore said. "The peace treaty was signed 3 weeks ago. You know this." "I know," Daniel said. "The treaty includes many agreements. One of them concerns a young Kelovian named Sarah." General Moore pushed a photograph across the table. Her parents died during the last battle of the war. She was found by rescue teams. She is alive. She is 7 years old. Daniel looked at the photograph. The girl had a crystalline skin that caught the light. Her eyes were large and colored like amber. She looked small and afraid. She did not look like the monsters he had fought. "Why are you telling me this?" Daniel asked. "Because the treaty says that Earth must provide care and protection for her. The Kelovian Council wants her to have a safe place. They want her to live. She will live in a secure compound. She will need a guard. Someone strong. Someone who understands the reality of the war. Someone who will not let emotion control him." Daniel leaned back in his chair. He understood what General Moore was asking. She wanted him to guard an alien girl, the same species he had been killing for 17 years. "No," Daniel said. "Captain Hayes." "No," Daniel said again. "Find someone else. I am done with Kelovians. Done with war. Done with everything related to them." General Moore leaned forward. Her eyes were hard. "The girl needs protection. There are people on Earth who hate all Kelovians. They will try to hurt her. They will try to kill her. She is alone. She has no one." Daniel stood up. He walked to the wall. He pressed his palm against the cold metal. Behind him, he heard General Moore's voice. "The war changed you, Captain Hayes. I know what you saw. I know what you lost. But this is not about the war. This is about a child. This is about being human." Daniel did not turn around. He thought about Sergeant Marcus Cole. Cole had been his best friend. A Kelovian weapon had ripped through his body during the Battle of Keter Station. Daniel had held him as he died. Marcus had told him to keep fighting, to keep the others alive. Daniel had done that for 7 more years. "How long?" Daniel asked. "Until she is 18 years old. Until she can protect herself. Until she does not need a guard anymore." 11 years. Daniel closed his eyes. 11 years protecting something he hated. 11 years in a cage with the enemy. But the child's face in the photograph stayed in his mind, afraid, alone. 7 years old. "When do I start?" Daniel asked. "Tomorrow," General Moore said. "You will report to the secure compound in New Chicago. Your quarters are ready. The girl has been in medical care. She speaks very little English. She communicates through telepathy, but her abilities are not fully developed. She is frightened. She does not understand why she is here. She does not understand what happened to her parents. Daniel turned around. Will you tell her? About the war? About how many of her people died? That is up to you, General Moore said. You are her guard. You will also be responsible for her care and education. Daniel nodded. He did not speak. He walked out of the room without another word. The next day, Daniel arrived at the secure compound. It was a large building made of reinforced steel and concrete. The walls were thick. Guards stood at every entrance. The compound sat far away from any city. It was isolated. It was safe. A woman in a white coat met Daniel at the entrance. Her name was Dr. Elizabeth Warner. She was Sierra's medical supervisor. The girl is in the recreation room, Dr. Warner said. We have tried to make her comfortable. She does not eat much. She sleeps very little. She cries often. Daniel followed Dr. Warner down a long corridor. The walls were white. The lights were bright. Everything was clean. Everything was cold. The recreation room had toys, books, a television. Color everywhere. But the girl sat in the corner by herself. She was small. Her crystalline skin caught the light and made rainbow colors on the floor. She looked up when Daniel entered the room. Sierra did not move. She did not speak. She just watched him with her amber eyes. Daniel walked slowly into the room. He sat down in a chair 3 feet away from her. He did not try to touch her. He did not try to talk to her. He just sat there. My name is Daniel, he said quietly. I am going to be here with you now. Every day. You can trust me. I will not hurt you. Sierra made a sound. It was not a word. It was something else. Something that came from deep in her throat. Her eyes went bright for a moment. Daniel felt something in his mind. A feeling. A picture. Fear. Loss. Pain. It was her telepathy. She was showing him what she felt. Daniel sat with her all day. He did not force her to talk. He did not force her to come to him. He just waited. By evening, Sierra moved closer to him. She sat next to him on the floor. She was still afraid. But something had changed. The war had taught Daniel many things. It had taught him how to kill, how to survive, how to watch people he loved die. But it had not taught him this. It had not taught him how to save someone, how to give someone safety when the whole galaxy wanted them dead. Daniel looked down at the small alien girl sitting next to him. She had closed her eyes. She was sleeping. For the first time since he entered the room, her face was not twisted in fear. Daniel did not move. He sat there the whole night, watching her breathe, making sure she was safe. Tomorrow would be difficult. There would be many days of difficulty ahead. But Daniel was good at facing difficult things. He had survived the war. He could survive this. He could protect her. 3 months had passed. Sierra still did not speak English words, but she was no longer afraid of Daniel. She followed him everywhere. She ate better. She slept more. Her crystalline skin glowed with health now instead of the dull gray it had been when she first arrived. Daniel had made a routine. In the morning, they ate breakfast together. He pointed to things and said the English words: cup, water, food, bread. Sierra listened. Sometimes she repeated the sounds with her mouth. Sometimes she just felt the words through her telepathy. After breakfast, Daniel took her outside. The secure compound had gardens. Trees grew there. The sky was blue. The sun was warm. Sierra had been born on a Calavian world where it was always cold. The gardens amazed her. On this day, Daniel was teaching Sierra about flowers. He knelt down and pointed to a yellow flower. Flower, he said. Yellow. Sierra touched the flower gently. Her fingers were hard and smooth, not soft like human skin. She made a sound in her throat. A feeling came into Daniel's mind. Wonder, beauty, joy. Yes, Daniel said. Beautiful. Flower, beautiful. Sira turned to him. Her amber eyes were clear now, not clouded with fear anymore. She came closer to him. She reached out her hard hand and touched his face. A picture flooded into Daniel's mind. Not words, not sounds, but a picture. A Calovian world. Mountains of crystal. A female Calovian with Sira's eyes. A male Calovian with strength in his body. They were playing with her. They were laughing. Daniel felt the memory. He felt Sira's love for them. He felt her pain that they were gone. Your mother and father, Daniel said softly. Sira made a sad sound. She pulled her hand away and looked at the flower again. Daniel did not know what to do. He had never learned how to comfort a child. His childhood had been hard. His parents had not hugged him or told him they loved him. He had learned to be strong, to not show weakness. But Sira needed something different. Daniel sat down on the ground. He made himself small. He waited. Sira came and sat next to him. She put her head against his arm. Not because she was hungry or tired, but because she wanted to be close to someone. Someone who would not hurt her. Someone who would keep her safe. They sat that way for a long time. Days passed. Daniel continued to teach Sira English. She learned quickly. Her voice was strange. It sounded like bells mixed with rock grinding together. But she spoke. She said his name. She said water. She said flower. She said please and thank you. One day, she said a new word. Dane. Daniel looked at her. What? Dame, she said again. She was trying to make the sounds of her own language, but in a way that human ears could understand. She was trying to say something. To name him with her own language. Is that my name? Daniel asked. In Calovian? Sira nodded. She touched his chest. She did it many times. Every time she said it, a feeling came to his mind. Protection, strength, family. Okay, Daniel said. I am Dane. You are Sarah. We are together now. Sira smiled. It was the first time he had seen her smile. Her whole face changed. The sadness was still there. But something else was there too. Hope. Weeks passed. The secure compound was surrounded by walls, but Sira no longer tried to escape. Daniel had given her a room of her own. He had painted it the color of Calovian skies. Dark purple. She had books. She had drawing supplies. But most of all, she had Daniel. Every morning he was there. Every night he made sure she slept safely. When she had nightmares about the war, about the Calovian ships exploding, about the death of her parents, Daniel was there. He held her. He did not tell her it would be okay. He did not lie to her. He just said, I am here. You are safe. I will not let you be hurt. One day, Sira asked him a question in her strange bell-grinding voice. Did you kill Calovians, Dane? Daniel did not lie. The war had taught him that lying was worse than the truth. Yes, he said. I did. Many. Was my mother fighting? Sira asked. I do not know, Daniel said. I was not there when your mother and father died. I do not know who they were fighting against. Sira nodded. She thought about this. The Calovians told me humans were evil. They said humans were monsters from a death world. They said humans killed for fun. Do you believe that now? Daniel asked. Sira looked at him for a long time. No, she said. You do not kill for fun. You protect. You teach. You show me flowers and tell me stories about Earth. You are not evil. Daniel felt something break inside his chest. Something that had been hard for so long. He pulled Sira close to him. He let himself feel the sadness and the weight of all the years of fighting. But then something happened. An alarm sounded. Red lights flashed through the compound. Soldiers ran through the hallways. Daniel stood up quickly. A voice came through speakers in the wall. Security breach. Sector 7. This is not a drill. Daniel grabbed Sarah. Come with me. Now. He ran with her to the safe room. It was underground, beneath the compound. The walls were reinforced steel. No weapons could break through them. Daniel had checked them many times, but as he ran down the corridor, he heard sounds. Sounds of fighting. Sounds of weapons. Sounds of people dying. He pushed Sarah into the safe room and locked the door behind her. Stay here, he said. Do not move. Do not open this door for anyone but me. Dane. Sarah cried out. But Daniel was already gone. He ran back up to the main compound. Armed people were fighting with the security guards. They wore no uniform. They had angry faces. They had weapons that Daniel recognized. Kelovian weapons. The Purity Collective had found them. Daniel fought with everything he had. He was fast. He was strong. He was experienced. But there were too many of them. They pushed him back toward the safe room. One of them grabbed him. A tall male with a scarred crystalline face. Where is the girl? The male demanded. Gone, Daniel said. Long gone. She escaped yesterday. The male lifted Daniel off the ground with one hand. He was much stronger than Daniel. He held him up like Daniel was nothing. But then Daniel did something the Kelovian did not expect. He stopped fighting. He relaxed his body. He made himself seem defeated. The male's grip loosened for just a moment. That was enough. Daniel twisted his body. He pulled a knife from his belt. He struck at the male's arm. Not to kill, but to cut deep and make him bleed. The male dropped him. Daniel fell to the ground hard. Pain shot through his body. But he did not stop. He kept moving. He kicked the male's legs out from under him. The Kelovian fell. Daniel did not kill him. But he made it impossible for him to fight anymore. More security guards came. More soldiers. The intruders were pushed back. Some of them escaped. Some of them were captured. The compound was secure again. Daniel went back to the safe room. He opened the door. Sarah was curled in the corner, shaking with fear. Daniel knelt down and pulled her into his arms. She held on to him so tight he could hardly breathe. I am here, he said. I will always protect you. They will not take you. They will not hurt you. I promise. Sarah cried against his chest. And Daniel held her, knowing that the war was not really over. Not for him. Not as long as there were people who wanted to hurt this child, but he would be ready. He would always be ready, because she was his to protect now. 6 months after the attack on the compound, everything changed. A message came from the Kelovian Council. The message was broadcast across all human communications networks. Every person on Earth heard it. The Purity Collective had declared Sarah a traitor to the Kelovian people. They said she was corrupted by human influence. They said she had abandoned her culture. They demanded that she be returned to Kelovian space to face trial. If she was not returned, they said they would destroy Earth's defense stations one by one until the girl was given to them. The Earth Council held emergency meetings. News stations covered the story for days. Scientists and politicians debated what should be done. Some said give the girl back. Save the human colonies. Protect Earth. It was just one child. What was one child compared to millions of human lives? Others argued for fighting, for protecting the girl, for showing the galaxy that Earth would not be bullied. Daniel heard all of this through the compound's communication systems. He sat in his room and listened to people argue about Sarah's life. Some of them did not even use her name. They just called her the girl, the alien. The threat, but Sierra heard it too. She was older now. She was 8 years old. She understood more. She understood that people wanted to hurt her. That people wanted to send her away. That keeping her might destroy Earth. Daniel found her in the garden one night. She was sitting alone by the flowers. She had grown since the first day he met her. She was stronger now. Her crystalline skin was bright and clear. Her mind was sharp. She had learned to speak English with only a slight strange accent. "Sarah," Daniel said. He sat down next to her. "I should go," she said without looking at him. "I should leave. Go back to Calovian space. Face what they want to do to me. Then Earth will be safe." "No," Daniel said. "Yes," Sarah said. Her voice was firm. "You heard the messages. They will attack Earth. They will kill humans. Millions of humans. Because of me. Because I am here." Daniel grabbed her shoulders and turned her to face him. "Listen to me. What you are thinking is wrong. You think that your death will save Earth, but it will not. They will find another reason to attack. They will find another way to demand things. They will see that we are weak, that we give away what we love when they threaten us. But I do not want humans to die because of me," Sarah said. Tears were running down her face. Her crystalline skin caught the light and made the tears look like liquid diamonds. "I know," Daniel said. "But that is not how this works. Listen to me, Sarah. I was a soldier for many years. I fought in a war. I killed many Calovians. I lost my friends. I saw terrible things. But I learned something. I learned that you do not protect someone by abandoning them. You protect them by standing next to them. No matter what happens. No matter what anyone says. But what if they destroy Earth?" Sarah asked. "Then we fight," Daniel said. "Together. And we die together if we have to. But we do not run. We do not hide. We do not give you up." Sarah shook her head. "That is foolish, Dane. You are asking me to destroy a world." "I am asking you to trust me," Daniel said. "I have never asked you for anything else. I have taught you. I have protected you. I have shown you that humans are not monsters. Now I am asking you to believe that I know what I am doing, that I will not let anything happen to you, and that you will not let anything happen to me. We are family now. Family does not run." Sarah closed her eyes. Daniel felt her reach into his mind with her telepathy, not to see his thoughts, but to feel his emotions, to know if he was lying, to know if he was afraid. Daniel let her feel everything. He let her feel his fear, his doubt, his anger at the situation. But most of all, he let her feel his love for her, his commitment to her, his willingness to die to keep her safe. When Sarah opened her eyes again, she was crying harder. "I felt your heart, Dane. I felt what you were willing to do. I felt your family, your friends who died. I felt all of it." "Then you know I am telling you the truth," Daniel said. Sarah wrapped her arms around him. She held him like she was holding on to the last thing in the universe. "I will not leave. I will stay with you. And if the Purity Collective comes, we will face them together." The next day, Daniel made an announcement. The broadcast went out across all human networks and was transmitted to the Calovian Council and the Purity Collective. In the broadcast, Daniel sat with Sarah next to him. "I am Captain Daniel Hayes," he said. "I am a human soldier. I fought in the Galactic War. I killed Calovians. I lost friends to Calovian weapons. But I am here to tell you that I will not give this girl to anyone who wants to harm her. She is under my protection. She is part of my family. If you want her, you will have to go through me. And every human on this planet will stand with me." Sarah spoke next. Her voice was strong. Her English was clear. "I am Sarah. I was born a Calovian. I loved my parents with all of my heart. The Purity Collective says I am a traitor because I have learned to love a human. But that is not betrayal. That is growth. That is learning that love is stronger than hate. That family can come from unexpected places. I chose to stay on Earth. I chose to be with Dane, and I will stand with him against anyone who tries to tear us apart. The broadcast was shared across the entire galaxy. News stations on hundreds of worlds discussed it. Scientists analyzed it. Politicians debated it, but something unexpected happened. Younger Kelovians began to listen to Sira's words. They began to question the Purity Collective. They began to say that maybe war was not the answer. Maybe peace was possible. Maybe the old ways of thinking were wrong. The Kelovian Council became divided. Some members supported the Purity Collective, but others did not. They realized that attacking Earth would cause a rift in their own civilization. They realized that Sarah's words were reaching the hearts of their young people. After 3 weeks of debate, the Kelovian Council made a decision. They declared that the Purity Collective was acting without authority. They withdrew their support from the extremists. They offered to negotiate peace terms that would keep Sira safe on Earth. The Purity Collective refused to accept this. They prepared their forces for an attack. But without the support of the Kelovian Council, they had fewer resources, fewer ships, fewer soldiers. The threat of galactic destruction had passed. But the danger was not over. The Purity Collective was angry. They were desperate. And desperate creatures were the most dangerous. Daniel knew that the real battle was about to begin. And this time, the whole galaxy would be watching. The Purity Collective attacked 3 weeks later. Their ships appeared in orbit above Earth like a dark swarm of insects. 12 Kelovian warships surrounded the planet. They blocked the compound with a force field that made escape impossible. Vrax was the leader of the Purity Collective. He was old and scarred. His crystalline skin was cracked in many places. He had fought in wars that humans had never even heard of. He was brutal and without mercy. His message came through the compound's communication systems. His voice sounded like grinding metal. "Give us the girl in 1 hour. If you do not, we will destroy everything. We will burn your compound from orbit. We will kill everyone inside. We will continue to kill humans until you give her to us." Daniel gathered his soldiers. There were 40 of them. 40 humans against 12 Kelovian warships and hundreds of Kelovian soldiers. The odds were terrible. The odds were impossible. But Daniel had learned something in his years of fighting. Humans were adaptable. Humans could think in ways that other species could not. Humans could do impossible things when they had to. "Listen," Daniel said to his soldiers. "I am not going to tell you that we can win this. I am going to be honest. We are outnumbered. We are outgunned. Their technology is better than ours. But we have something they do not have. We have a reason to fight. We have a child to protect. And we are humans. We do not give up. We do not surrender to bullies. We do what is right, even when the cost is high. Are you with me?" Every soldier said yes. They meant it. They understood that they might die today, but they would not surrender. Daniel went to find Sira. She was in her room. She was looking out the window at the Kelovian ships above them. She was afraid, but she was brave. "We are going to fight," Daniel said. "They will kill you," Sira said. "Maybe," Daniel said. "But I will die fighting for you. That is what family does." Sira turned to him. Her amber eyes were bright with tears. "I do not want you to die, Dane." "I know," Daniel said. "But I will do it anyway. Because I love you. And that is stronger than fear. That is stronger than death." The Purity Collective's time limit passed. The ships opened fire. The compound shook. Walls cracked. Alarms blared everywhere. But the compound shields held. Daniel had reinforced them. He had studied Calovian weapons. He had prepared for this. Daniel moved Sarah to the command center. It was in the heart of the compound. The walls were 3 feet thick. The shields were the strongest on the entire base. "Stay here," he said. "Watch what I do. Learn. If anything happens to me, you need to know how to fight." "I do not know how to fight," Sarah said. "You have telepathy," Daniel said. "You can sense what people are thinking. You can sense their intentions. That is better than any weapon. Use it." The attack continued for hours. The Calovian ships poured fire down on the compound. But Daniel's soldiers fought smart. They used the terrain. They used the buildings as shields. They used human tactics that the Calovians did not expect. Daniel himself moved through the compound like a ghost. He appeared where the Calovians were attacking. He fought with precision and speed. He was one human soldier against an alien army. But he was worth 10 soldiers. He was worth 20. Then Calovian soldiers landed inside the compound. They came down in transport ships. Their weapons were powerful. Their bodies were hard and strong. But they came expecting the humans to fight like soldiers, to stand in lines, to retreat in fear. Instead, the humans fought like they were protecting their homes. They fought like they were fighting for their families. They fought with courage and creativity. Daniel led them. He fought at the front. He was wounded many times. A Calovian blade cut across his arm. Another blast burned his shoulder. But he did not stop. He could not stop. Sarah was here. Sarah was relying on him. But the Calovians kept coming. Dozens of them. Hundreds. The humans were dying. One by one. Slowly being pushed back toward the center of the compound. Then something changed. Sarah's voice came through the communication system. Her voice was not gentle anymore. It was strong. It was fierce. It was being broadcast across all frequencies. Every ship, every Calovian soldier could hear her. "I am Sarah," she said. "I was born to the Calovian people. My parents died in this war that we started. Now Vrax wants to kill me to prove something. But I will not die alone. And I will not let you keep killing. Listen to me. Listen with your minds and your hearts. Not with the hatred that Vrax teaches you." Daniel felt it then. Sarah was reaching out with her telepathy. Not to just one person, but to all the Calovian soldiers. She was showing them something. She was showing them memories. Not her memories, but Daniel's memories. They felt what Daniel felt. They felt his fear when he first met Sarah. They felt his anger at losing friends in the war. But they also felt his love for her. They felt what it was like to protect someone you love more than your own life. They felt what it was like to choose family over revenge. Sarah continued to speak. "The war is over. We do not have to keep fighting. We do not have to keep hating. I am proof of this. I am Calovian and human family, together. And if you fight this day, if you kill me and Dane, then you kill hope. You kill the future. You kill the possibility of peace." Many of the Calovian soldiers stopped fighting. They stood frozen, feeling what Sarah was showing them, feeling the truth of her words, feeling what it meant to be something other than just weapons of war. But Vrax was not moved. He roared a command. "Kill them all. Kill the girl. Kill him now." Some of the Calovian soldiers obeyed. Others refused. The alien army became divided. And in that moment of confusion, Daniel and his remaining soldiers pushed forward. The battle raged through the night. By dawn, the Calovian soldiers had either surrendered or fled. Vrax's ships tried to attack from orbit, but the Calovian Council sent their own ships to stop him. They had been monitoring the situation. They had seen what Sarah had shown to their own people. They had decided that Vrax's war was wrong. Vrax tried to escape, but he was surrounded. He was captured by the Kelovian Council's forces. The siege was over. Daniel was wounded badly. He had lost 17 soldiers. The compound was damaged. But Sira was alive. That was all that mattered. Daniel fell to his knees in the command center. His body was shaking. From pain, from exhaustion, from the weight of everything that had happened. Sira came running to him. She knelt down and put her hands on his face. She held him like he had held her so many times before. "You are alive," she said. "You are alive. You did it. You protected me." Daniel looked at her. This child, this Kelovian girl, this daughter of his heart. "We did it," he said. "Together. That is what family does." 1 year had passed since the siege. The compound was rebuilt. The walls were stronger than before. But Sira did not live there anymore. Daniel was offered promotion after promotion. General Patricia Moore asked him to command the entire Earth Defense Force. The Kelovian Council asked him to be an ambassador to the Galactic Alliance. Corporate leaders offered him money beyond counting. Daniel refused everything. Instead, he took Sarah away from the compound. They found a small house in the mountains of what had once been called Colorado. The house had a garden. It had a view of the sky. It had room for a family. Sira was 9 years old now. She was growing fast. She was taller than she had been. Her crystalline skin was brighter. She was beautiful in a way that was both Kelovian and something new. Something that only she could be. She went to school now. A human school. Not because anyone forced her, but because she wanted to learn. The other children were afraid of her at first. But Sira was kind. She was patient. She showed them that she was not so different from them. By the end of the first month, she had many friends. Daniel watched her learn and grow. He watched her become stronger every day. But he also taught her to be gentle, to be thoughtful, to remember her Kelovian heritage while also embracing her human family. They traveled together. They went to other worlds. They went to Kelovian colonies. They went to human settlements. Everywhere they went, people recognized them. The soldier and the Kelovian girl. The symbol of peace between species. On Sira's 10th birthday, the Kelovian Council invited them to the capital city of Kelovian Prime. They wanted to honor the child, who had changed their world. The ceremony took place in a great hall made of crystal. 10,000 Kelovians attended. The walls caught the light and made it dance through the room like living fire. Sira wore a traditional Kelovian garment. It was made of crystal and fiber. It made her look like a princess. But she also wore a human necklace, a simple silver chain with a small pendant, a pendant that Daniel had given her. It had both Kelovian symbols and human letters engraved on it. It said Sarah and Dane, family. The council recognized her as an ambassador for peace. They gave her a title. They asked her to help bridge the gap between their people and humans. They asked her to teach the young Kelovians that peace was possible, that different species could live together. That love was stronger than hate. Sira accepted. She looked at Daniel as she accepted, and Daniel felt something break open inside his chest, a feeling he had not allowed himself to have for many years. Hope, real hope. Years passed. Sira grew. She became a beautiful young woman. She learned both Kelovian and human languages perfectly. She could move between both worlds. She could speak to both peoples in ways that each one understood. By the time she was 18 years old, Sira had negotiated trade agreements between Earth and Kelovian Prime. She had helped establish schools where humans and Kelovians learned together. She had written books about her experience, about how hate could become love, about how enemies could become family. Daniel was 55 years old now. His hair was mostly gray. His face was lined with the years he had lived. His body was strong, but it moved slower than it had before. On Sira's 18th birthday, the Galactic Council held a ceremony. It was the most important ceremony in 1,000 years. Sira was invited to address the entire council. Representatives from hundreds of species would listen to her. Daniel stood in the shadows and watched. He wore his military uniform, though he had retired years ago. He wanted to be ready, always ready, to protect her if she needed it, though he knew she did not need that anymore. Sira walked to the speaking platform. She was tall now, strong, beautiful. Her crystalline skin caught the light and made it sparkle, but her eyes were still the same. Still the eyes of a child who had lost everything, but had found family. I stand before you as the first citizen of the Galactic Alliance to have both a human parent and a Kilovian birth, she said. Her voice was clear and strong. The war that brought me here destroyed countless lives. It left scars that will take generations to heal. But from that destruction, something grew. Something beautiful. I grew. She looked at Daniel. She smiled. I had a guardian named Dane, a human soldier who had every reason to hate my people, every reason to reject me. But instead, he chose to protect me. He chose to teach me. He chose to love me. And in doing that, he showed me what humans really are. You are not the monsters we feared. You are capable of sacrifice. You are capable of mercy. You are capable of love so deep that it can reach across species and across worlds. Sira paused. The entire council was silent. 10,000 species listening, waiting. The future of this galaxy does not have to be war. It does not have to be hate. It can be what my family is. Different species, different worlds, different ways of thinking, but united by a common purpose. To protect each other, to care for each other, to love each other. The council erupted. The noise was incredible. Creatures from every species in the galaxy were shouting approval, making sounds of joy and celebration. They knew they had witnessed something important. They knew they had heard the voice of the future. Later that night, Daniel and Sira stood on a balcony overlooking the galactic capital. Stars filled the sky. Thousands of them, millions, each one a world. Each one a home to some living creature. I was thinking about the first day we met, Sira said. So was I, Daniel said. You were so angry, Sira said. I could feel it. You hated my people. I did, Daniel said. But I also chose something else. I chose to be better than my hate. Sira turned to him. You saved my life, Dane, but you did more than that. You saved millions of lives. All of those Calovians who decided not to fight. All of those humans who chose to protect me instead of fear me. You changed the galaxy. Daniel shook his head. No, you changed the galaxy. I just loved you. I just loved you. That is all I did. I loved you and I protected you. And somehow, that love reached out into the world and changed things. Sira came closer to him. She was as tall as he was now. She put her arms around him. And Daniel held her. His daughter. Not by blood, but by choice. By the choice to love when it would have been easier to hate. They stood that way, looking out at the stars. Father and daughter. Human and Kelovian. Living proof that even after war, even after loss, even after suffering, it was possible to build something new. Something better. The war had taken so much from both of them, but it had also given them each other. And that, Daniel realized, was worth everything. That was worth all the pain. That was worth all the sacrifice. Because family was not about being born together. Family was about choosing each other. Again and again. No matter the cost. No matter the danger. No matter how impossible it seemed. And they had chosen each other. And the galaxy would never be the same.